You're hearing me, but you're not feeling me.
We're hitting nothing but dingers here.
Boy, crikey, that's a great point.
Welcome to the Weekly Chaos. We are coming to you at the speed of sound from the Hexapod Soundhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Nick.
I'm Luke.
And I'm DJ Fake News.
Big shout out to our returning listeners and a coy hello to our new friends. Weekly Chaos is a headline news show that's all about variety, being eclectic, seeing the world from different angles. We don't know where we're going, but we know we're going to get you there really fast.
And faster than you can say, follow us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod, Twitter at Velocity Chaos P, and on Facebook. Also, drop us some stars on Apple Podcasts, some love on Spotify. Toss us a sub on the YouTube. Set your podcast to download. Thank you, as always, for the support. Giddy up.
All right. It's time for the Weekend Box Office Report, hosted by the Weekly Chaos. Here we go with the weekend estimates. Top 5 grossing films crossing April 21st through the 23rd. Number 1, the Super Mario Bros. Movie just ate a number 1 mushroom with another $58.2 million, which brings its domestic cumulative to $434 million. Number 2, Evil Dead Rise rings the box office doorbell with $23.5 million. That's a gleeful debut for a beloved franchise right there. Number 3, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant broke its promise with a disappointing $6.3 million. Tough break, as there's a lot of praise out there for Ritchie's efforts in this film. And number 4, John Wick Chapter 4 collects a few more coins for the Continental with $5.8 million, bringing its cumulative to $168.9 million over 5 weeks. That's domestic. So impressive on that one. And number 5, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves cast a nice Revivify spell and pops back up into the top 5 with $5.4 million. Paramount and Hasbro likely to look elsewhere for new IP after a lackluster $82 million cumulative over 4 weeks domestically. A couple honorable mentions for you guys this week. Chevalier, $1.5 million. It plays the world's smallest violin for Disney on that one. It was 1,200 screens, and they really just couldn't seem to pull it together in the marketing. I felt like it was a little drab for what could have been maybe a cool kind of musical. Is it like a period piece about the actual musician? Beau is Afraid, Ari Aster's latest effort, rolls out $2.8 million on a slowly expanded step release for A24. So they're going to expand that as they go. And Somewhere in Queens shoots $681,000 on 600 screens for a healthy per theater average of $11.32. This was Ray Romano's directorial debut, by the way. So he got into the game.
Ray Romano, man. I'd like to see him win a couple awards, but you know what award I like? I like the Stanley Cup because it's the oldest award in sports, and it's Stanley Cup playoff time, boys. So, and not only are we talking about wins and losses, but the big news story going around the ice lately is Morgan Barren, center for the Winnipeg Jets, just got the most heinous injury you've ever seen, probably in all of hockey, but it's a doozy, boys. It's not for the faint of heart. There was a little scrum in Game 1 with Winnipeg Jets versus the Vegas Golden Knights where pretty much the entirety of their team got Luke's getting queasy. The entirety of their team got piled up in front of the net, and their goalie actually got turned around, to which Chandler Stevenson of the Vegas Golden Knights accidentally, I preface, ended up falling and pushing Morgan Barren, and the goalie's skate got up under Morgan Barron's visor, ended up cutting his face in the first period of their first game. Now, Morgan Barron ended up getting a cut in his face so bad he needed 75 stitches.
Oh, dear Lord.
75 stitches. However, the second period, being a hockey player, returned to the game.
Oh, my God.
Returned to the game. Yes, he did. And he returned to the game right about midway through the second period, and he scored, by the way. Still was able to score. Came back out with a full bird cage. It was really, really one of those moments that just highlights hockey for me and how tough these players are. Stevenson actually, immediately when Barron got hit, ended up seeing he got injured, grabbed him by the jersey, and like in an effort to help him up and support him, and just like an incredible show of sportsmanship. Barren was quoted after the game saying, "I'll have to give him a little tap on the shin pad or something on the next game to say thanks." So, but yeah, just a real crazy show of how dangerous these sports can be, and as well, what sportsmanship can come together at such a time, and one of the greatest times in athletics. So.
Man, dude, you've just been waiting to say the Stanley Cup and the best of the best, the oldest of the oldest. But hey, hockey's here to stay, and it's for a reason. I mean, it's one of the toughest sports out there. They talk a lot about football players coming out from the locker room, but hockey's one of the few games that plays with blades, right? Like, it is part of the sport. I mean, you have other sticks and things like that. I thought that's what you were going to say, that he fell on a hockey stick or something like that. But thank God it was just getting cut in the face with a hockey skate. But no, seriously, the fact that he got back up and out on the ice just is a testament to the toughness, but also for the passion of the game. So that's one of my favorite parts of hockey, is just they're pretty much unstoppable. You're going to have to lock them down with a weight and chain for them not to come back out.
Exactly.
Absolutely. The amount of toughness that hockey players have, the amount of passion and respect that they have for one another, even if they hate someone, there's still respect there. The amount of stupidity you have to be playing. You get your 250 pounds on a couple of kitchen knives, fighting over a little puck. Like, how crazy do you have to be, but how insane, like the amazing stuff that comes out of hockey, and the beautiful, its grace, its beauty, its passion, its athleticism, it's everything that you could ever dream of. And the only reason I don't play is because I'm a little pussy. Okay, all right, I have so much respect for those guys, and they do it so wonderfully. It's amazing.
And what's the Stanley Cup right now? What's the game record? Is it? Are they in the finals?
Oh, no. So we're all in the first round. It's a great time to get in hockey, but it's 2-1. Vegas is winning the lead, or winning the series currently. So
okay, cool. I'll have to maybe try to catch some of that and brush up on it. I'm a fair weather fan of the sport. I just wait till the finals or the playoffs and I watch that. So keeping it in sports, it was the bottom of the sixth in Angel Stadium, April 23rd, which was yesterday as of this recording. And the Los Angeles Angels, they were down 2-1. That's the bottom of the sixth. And that's when it happened. Taylor Ward launched one to left field about 20 feet inside the foul post, hit a home run way out there. Then Mike Trout steps up to the plate, and he creamed one to center right. It narrowly evaded a leaping center fielder's glove and doinked off the top of the wall. They have a kind of a short wall out there right in front of a big like LED screen, and it went off the top, so that counts as a home run there. And then finally, everyone was all heated up. Ohtani steps up to the plate, and he smashed one to nearly the same spot, but just to prove that he's still better than Trout. Like, it was another 20 feet into the stands and over the wall. So they hit back-to-back home run, back-to-back 3 home runs right in a row, and it launched them up 4-3. They won the game. But I've never been in a ballpark when that happened, but I could only imagine how insanely fun it would be. And they were all solos, but just to be like, smash, smash, smash. And it's just like 2 of the greatest hitters right now in the league. It's just amazing. And I also found out through the story, the Angels have been using this samurai helmet as a celebratory gesture for players who have accomplished something really great in a game. They've only been using it for like this season, but it seems to be a thing that's trending and staying, but it's like a full kitted out samurai helmet. And essentially it was funny because Ward, he got it as he ran in, and he was the first player this year as they were using this who hit a home run and got it. And then he put it on Trout's head when he came in after his home run. And then Ward went and took a dump, just thinking like, all right, cool. Like, and then Ohtani hits his, and then Trout put it on Ohtani. So it was just like they kept handing it down the way. So I just thought it was cool. I mean, stuff like this is starting to, I think even through the show, I'm almost like becoming more interested in baseball again in a lot of fun ways. And all the crowds seem to really like the pitch clock and all that. So with bombers out there like this, being able to just string them together, I think it could be really fun to be at the ballpark this summer.
I was gonna say, man, you get out there and it's one thing to be electrified. I know Luke mentioned last time how like the ballpark's changing and people are getting involved, like you said, the count and things like that. Everyone's getting a little hyped up, and if you can get back to back to back, and you're just shaking the stadium, how electric that's gotta feel. I mean, let alone the respect. I mean, we're gonna go on a sports tangent with this athleticism. The fact that they're gonna come out, one guy's gonna just smoke 1 yard, and then he's like, next guy comes up to bat goes, I gotta top that. And just that like inner team competition that just could you imagine the locker room after that? Those guys are probably jumping and screaming like banshees, man. So that had to be awesome. I can only imagine what it'd be like to be a part of a team like that.
Yeah, like you said too, like what was the energy like to be in that stadium or arena, whatever you want to call it? But you know, 1 home run from Ward, and then 2 from the other guy, the other important guy, and then the only person that really matters. You know, 3 in a row, Ohtani. Probably, I'm saying he's greatest player of all time, and he's definitely my favorite right now to watch and experience, and it's just incredible. The pressure that's on you because you don't want to follow up, like you're following up Led Zeppelin or something, or the Beatles. Like, you know, you're stuck in a position like, well, crap, I guess I'm just better. And then, you know, like you said, you just this outdoes them a little bit. And I think, like you guys are saying, the pitch clock, I think that one little change, you know, now you go to a game at 7:00. I'm getting out at 9:30. Even if there is a lot of scoring, okay, maybe 9:45, and you're still home by 10. So just that change alone, going from, I guess we might get out in 3 hours, but it could go 4 hours. It's like, but now it's 2.5 hours. We're in and out. I like it.
I was gonna say, I think maybe basketball, unfortunately, I have to say this, could learn a lesson from, you know, sports like hockey and baseball and how much good energy is floating around here. Because I don't know if you guys heard, but in the second game we have the playoffs going on with the NBA, we have the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings, and in the fourth quarter of their game 2, I'm going to butcher this man's name. All you guys know how big of an NBA fan I am. Domantas Sabonis was coming down after a shot to the net after Steph Curry just picked up a rebound and moved down court, where Draymond Green decided he was going to stomp on Domantas' chest, just at a total, and got called for a flagrant foul. And after apparently Domantas was, you know, quoted or got a penalty for grabbing his leg, or Draymond Green's leg at some point, it just came out that Domantas has suffered a bruised sternum as a result, and is questionable for his next game return. Well, yes, he looks given the wild eyes here. But also, it ended up that the NBA suspended Draymond Green for at least 1 game for his flagrant foul, because people said, hey, this is a blatant show of disrespect. You went out of your way to stomp a dude on his chest. And this is one I kind of want to pose to you guys. How do you feel about it? There are a couple people that are split saying, well, I don't think Draymond should be suspended for this, and I can't tell if it's fanfare or is it just a flagrant show of disrespect. And this is what's been getting debated. So, and I have my opinions on it. I think I come from physical sports. However, there are definitely rules in the sports that I play that, you know, anything that's shown out of like retaliation is immediately penalized. And this was clear, you know, in my opinion, this was not a part of the actual gameplay, but it's debated, and I'm going to toss it up to you guys.
Yeah. Foot knives to the chest. That one's okay. That one, you want to take that a little easy on that one, but Sabonis, you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. You don't grab someone's leg. That's coming from like a soccer background. Those pansies out there playing soccer and chumming it up and crying. And like, yeah, if you grab a guy's leg and throw him off balance, okay, maybe he did stomp a little hard, but still, like, you don't grab someone's leg like that, and especially when these guys are 6'5" and above, like, that's such a fragile area. Like, and to think in that moment, Draymond's probably like, man, this guy could have just ended my career at this stage. Like, something happens to his ACL, or, you know, you tear Achilles, whatever, like something like that. So, yeah, you're going to stomp on a guy when he's on the ground, like grabbing your leg. It's a little punk. Stop it.
I'm going to come in a little harder. I will never be able to root for Draymond Green just because I just don't like him. But my bigger point is bigger to sports of I do think that we need villains in professional sports. And if somebody's willing to be that, because he said, I'm not going to change. He took the suspension on the chin and was just like, I'm not going to change and I'll take the fine or whatever. He's that kind of guy. And we need that more in sports because we need the drama of it. And you can't force it like in WWE where you're like writing it in. There's, all the kayfabe and all that.
Yeah.
Like you need somebody who's really gonna be willing to kind of be that guy. And Draymond has been that guy for a long time. Now there's young guns coming up who are kind of like, I'll talk smack to anybody I want, blah, blah, blah. I think the big thing though is like, it's always tit for tat in these sports, right? It's very rarely that somebody just hauls off unless it's like Meta World Peace. It's just like, boom, and it's like
Malice in the palace.
Yeah. So it's just, I think I like it because it adds drama to the sport. I don't like Draymond Green.
They need to go take a skate to the face and then see see what they're.
I'm not the biggest fan of Draymond Green. I would love to have him on my team though, just because of the type of player he is.
True.
Like he's hard-nosed, rugged, rough, and he's smart. Like if you watch him play, he's a smart player.
I'm sure if you had if he was on any other team, if he was on the Cavs, like I think I'd be like, oh yeah, he's a monster, he's a beast, like I'd be all into it.
Exactly.
So, but he's not. He's been our enemy for so long. That's why I just can't get on board.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. You need the drama.
All right, I'll give you guys some winners here. We're moving over to the PDGA Pro Disc Golf Champions Cup, not the championship, excuse me. We got the Champions Cup here. It is a new PDGA major introduced in 2022 and it's returned here for this year, 2023, and it is the first major of the season, so you're getting more points towards the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. All these acronyms and letters coming at you, but this event is hosted at the PDGA headquarters in Appling, Georgia. So awesome course, awesome level course. It's the W.R. Jackson Memorial Course. It's challenging but fair. A lot of semi-open holes with some difficult, tighter fairways. Plus, there's a multitude of longer holes that test out a pro's accuracy on the course. Definitely a fun course to watch a pros play, but there's been issues on the Disc Golf Pro Tour website. You can get a subscription monthly. It's like $12, but if you're a PDGA member, like if you play tournaments, you can get half off the subscription for each month. Anywho, people are complaining that the browser player on their website is just terrible. You can't rewind, you can't like pause it. So it's more live TV, where they do have the first day of the tournament for free on YouTube, so people can chat with other people, rewind it, pause it, like catch up. But the other 2 or 3 days, depending on the tournament, is a major, so it was 4 days, and the people are upset about that. The other thing they're upset about is it's a small sport, so we don't have a huge production company doing this. We just had little production companies. They're using cell signals and stuff to wirelessly transmit. So people are getting pixelated video. Yeah. And what do you think when you add another 500 people with their cell phones out, or 1,000 people with their cell phones? It's just going to bog down the system even more. So you're just getting more and more pixelated stuff. So and you're going to these remote places. Like we're not talking golf courses where they have stands and podiums for the cameras already set up because they know exactly where people are going. Anywho, let's get into the winners real quick but that's just something that people are talking about, and it is leading into people wanting to watch more of second day coverage of companies like Jomez Pro and Gatekeeper Media. DJ Fake News' favorite, Kristen Tatar, number one in the world, FPO. She takes the cake again.
Oh, gosh.
23 under. I think she was like 10 strokes ahead of the next contender. It's just impressive, putting on a clinic for the women's division. And then we got the MPO, Isaac Robinson, Georgia native. So he got home course advantage, I suppose. He puts the pedal to the metal. I don't think he was behind in any round. He just came out shooting the hot round in round 1 and just stayed on top rounds 2, 3, and 4. And pedal to the metal, disc to the chains, fewest strokes. He did it in 40 under. The next closest was 35 under par. So yeah, he's a great player, top 20 probably on average. But if you watch a lot of disc golf, you'll see his name pop up quite a bit, and just really impressive to take that down. And then there was another guy, Silas Schultz, just kind of unknown to a degree, but I think he was a local guy too. But he was making some splashes on that final day, almost catching Isaac. So fun tournament.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that's so. Two things that came out of that. One is I looked up Kristen, and it's interesting that she's listed Estonian professional golfer. So they haven't made the designation yet of what kind of golf.
Do you want to know something?
Yeah, I want to know something.
In Estonia, the national sport is disc golf.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Well, cool. She's at the peak of her game and her country now. The other comment that I had is it's amazing that they're starting to generate this demand. That's where you want to be as a growing sport, but also as a media company, which is essentially what a lot of these leagues are, is they are a media and a branding company. And it's cool that there's enough demand out there. So I can only see it's a matter of time before somebody meets that demand with some funding or something and come in and say, let's bump it up. But you zeroed in on something really interesting is because the play of the game and the courses are different, where you're playing in trees sometimes and you're more obscure than just up on a tower on a fairway. I think it's going to be interesting how they kind of revolutionize sports coverage. You're probably going to have a lot more backpack cams and people with the overheads and steady cam ops out there, or people on movies or something. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to that and cover disc golf in a really cool way. But I can only imagine. I mean, one of the coolest things on TV is watching the golf ball flying through the air, and discs in some ways are more majestic. So I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, I think they got to bring out that cable cam, bring it back, go put it through the trees, full tilt. No, and I mean, and you talking about Kristen and having you're talking about numbers like 40 under, and then you were showing me clips not too long ago where you're like, oh, check out this one single shot or these hole-in-ones. I was like, you never see. Like, I mean, some hole-in-ones are epic in golf, but that's few and far between. Like, to see games like that, you hope especially for them to grow, is that you have these epic moments or epic players like Kristen that people can latch onto. And then, coupled with how sports are changing, like we talk about baseball, this and that, things are getting more exciting. You have people who ride that wave and do, like Nick says, push them to get to a point where there are enough supporters to blow the sport up in a good way. So I think that'll be exciting. And to Nick's point, I mean, it would be pretty epic to just see cameras flying, chasing discs through the trees. I've been on those courses, man. I've tried disc golf once or twice. And that stuff's tight. It's real tight.
They're going to need at least $50,000 plus per tournament if they want it to be, good quality. So I don't know if that's coming anytime soon, but we'll see.
Well, when you get the ad sponsors involved, that'll work out.
Yeah.
I have no problem following Kristen Tatar on Instagram. No problem. Guys, just want to keep it in sports one more time and going back to the NBA. There was a lot of drama over the weekend, so this was even after the Draymond Green stuff of last week. A number of the series have gone to 3-1. RIP Cavs versus the Knicks. It's going to be I don't know if they're going to be able to dig their way out of that one, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about Atlanta versus Boston. I thought that the Hawks got ahead of themselves a little bit during this game. That was yesterday as of this recording. They just kicked off the first quarter when celebratory confetti started to drift down from the high arena ceiling in their colors. They were in Atlanta, and it was like their colors. And so the ref stopped the game for the players' safety, as apparently paper mache and pine wood don't get along. And if you add in a 200 pair of Nike LeBron 17s, it just makes for a terrible love triangle. So they blew their whistles and they're like, everyone off the court. But it was funny because a bunch of staff just came out of nowhere. They just flooded the court. They were waiting. It's all those people just waiting for something bad to happen. And they started trying to catch the confetti just to get it off faster. And then the Harlem Globetrotters theme music started to play. I made that part up, but that would have been perfect timing for that to happen. It was like somebody just missed their mark, because that would have been hysterical. We should just supercut that.
Yeah, dude.
But like I said, it was a severe case of premature celebration. They should probably get that checked out, because the Hawks went down to the Celtics 121, so they lost by 8, and now Boston leads the series 3-1, and probably will have sealed the deal by the time this episode airs. So I think I just think that's funny.
Yeah, everyone has those kind of problems, and it's not that big of a deal if you're out there and you have premature celebration issues. Talk to your doctor, get your ego in check. You don't want to be gloating too much, but I wonder if that's just a situation someone hit the button too soon, or if the crowd was just erupting and it just jiggled something and it just starts falling. But just to be able to see everyone run out. It's like, just wait. You're not going to do anything. Yeah. Just wait. Bring out those big brooms and sweep it up. That's all.
It's going to turn into a situation where the celebration button is now nuclear launch codes.
Yeah.
Like, there's the east button and the west button. The east button cannot trigger it. The west button cannot trigger it. Only two together can trigger the confetti.
All this because some grip up in the rafters like farted too close to the pile of confetti and just blew like a chunk of it down out of the rafters.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, they need lessons.
That sounds like a chaotic experience in a moment here. And then what I want to get you guys into is this story here about Brian Fitzgerald, 61, substitute bus driver. He just got hit with 30 misdemeanor child abuse charges.
Oh my!
Yes, for slamming on the brakes on misbehaving kids on his bus.
Oh,
yeah. So Brian, he told the children several times to sit down and sit properly. He then asked the kids if they wanted to see how dangerous it was, them acting that way. So the bus was going about 9 miles per hour. You can see it on the video. And he's hit the brakes, slammed on the brakes. All the kids fly forward. And that's just an old man being old school right there.
Yeah.
If there weren't cameras on the bus, all the kids would have just been like, I got a little whiplash, a little concussion. No big deal. My brainstem's still forming. I don't know. All that good stuff. But he's just teaching these kids a lesson that their parents should have been teaching them. Respect. All these kids are so entitled and they think they're impervious to everyone and everything now. The kids nowadays don't have any respect. So I applaud Brian. Maybe a little harsh on his methods, but he in that moment he's trying to teach these kids a lesson. You got to listen to your elders to a degree. Most of the time they know what's going on. So Brian, I feel bad for you, but maybe you got to just deep breath. Maybe, I know Colorado, some of that stuff's legal, so maybe you chill out sometimes, but maybe not for bus drivers. I don't know. Maybe save it for after work.
Jeez.
Old school is real cool, though. That's my thing. And Chris Rock said it best of just like, kids are the meanest people on the planet. They are the worst little devils you can think of. And it's because they're testing the limits of who they are, what they are, and how bad they can be. It's natural. But if we don't have some sort of semblance of correction, I just think we're in for a tough spot. It's like, yeah, smart kids will be smarter. They'll get on TikTok. They'll make their millions of dollars by the time they're 16. Cool, good for you. You're smarter than me. Doesn't mean that you're better than me. You could be a bigger asshole. You could be a bigger pain in somebody else's ass. And I just think if you don't. Look, some kid could have been like, oh, I'm having a great time and endangering another kid on the bus. And if they don't learn that lesson in some case, I just think it's not going to work out in the long run for the human race. I mean, yeah, some kid gets hurt, then you're going to pay a price. But if everyone just, bumped their head and cried a little bit, rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, I want to know which kid snitched because I don't know who's the snitch because now because of you, when we're going down the hill or we're going to the speed bumps, for those kids who hung out in the back of the bus, shout out back of the bus, you'd be like, go faster, Joe. Go. He can never do it again.
Yeah.
He'll never do it again. And I mean, because, dude, come on, rub some dirt in it, kids. You're fine. Well, and these parents are probably, oh, man, kid, you bumped his face. Good. That's fine. We got to jumble the bits back into place. I feel for him, man. He's got a cool name, too. So he's probably rad. That was probably the guy. Like I said, he's doing 50 over the speed bumps when we're in the back shouting at him. So, hey, man, you guys took out another one, and you'll see in the future what happens.
This isn't the first time we've covered, like, bus driver incidents on the podcast or on this weekly chaos. And the problem is like, police academies are down in numbers and military down in numbers, bus drivers down in numbers. In 3 years, people are going to be hurting when they're like, I can't find a bus driver to drive my kid to school. Now I got to cut out 2 hours of my day to drive around and drop a kid off. Well, think about that because you didn't correct the first one. And now you're 4 deep and that little one is not learning.
Jesus.
Well, hey, if kids are real dum-dums and the human race goes extinct by the year 20, whatever, maybe the Florida Panthers will be able to just reclaim everything as long as they survive. Because unfortunately, I call this segment Florida Panther Paths Have Been Crossed. And the state of Florida still possesses some of the most unique terrain and habitats in the U.S. of A. From coastal mangrove forests to the Everglades, all the way to the piney forests of the Panhandle, it is home to a smorgasbord of incredible flora and fauna. Unfortunately, the clash between Mickey Mouse-loving tourists and condo-loving retirees against the wildlife, it's just put a lot of those species at risk. And now you can't go back, right? You can't change that a new highway has been put in, but I think we should take a moment to appreciate the species that we're losing. And the Florida Panther is a breed of mountain lion. It's one of the few big cat species in North America. And unfortunately, these cats don't carry 9 lives around with them, especially when they dual cars on Route 75 in the tip of the tip. You know what I'm saying, Florida? Some of these majestic felines can have a home range of 200 square miles. And they've been losing this battle with vehicles since the 1970s when they were first declared endangered. There was only 30 left in the wild. And just through research and sustainability efforts, they've coaxed that number back up to 200. So they're going in the right direction, but it's slow going, because when you have 200 miles to cover, it's hard to get a date. You know what I'm saying? But there is a shimmer of hope here. The big cat numbers, like I said, have slowly been nurtured back from 30 back up to 200 adults in the wild. And one of the major solutions that's been on the table and is starting to work is these wildlife corridors that help animals traverse through highways or through developments and residential areas. And it kind of just creates like safe passage for them. And you kind of got to teach them where it is, but then they could teach their offspring and it becomes part of their new habitat. Yeah. And one other thing, if you want to learn more about these Florida Panthers, you can check out this soon to be released documentary called Path of the Panther. Path of the Panther. No, Path of the Panther, guys. And it has its own little starlet, Babs the Florida Panther. I'm excited to meet her. I'd like to watch this. So we'll include a link in our show notes.
Gotta love a story about Babs. I mean, and again, bringing it back to hockey. No, I'm just kidding. Gotta love Florida Panther. No, but seriously, it's good to see the numbers coming back up. But or saying, well, I mean, I say back up a little bit, but that people are making efforts. You talk about these corridors. We've seen them before in Colorado and Montana, I believe, with goats and things like that. Yeah. And people take a really unique approach to helping them. And it's a hard thing to see so many people. We've done a lot of wildlife bits on the show where we talk about people who are against wildlife or purposely hurt wildlife. It's why are you going out of your way when these things are part of our ecosystem? We're just a part of their world as they are. So don't worry so much about your grass or where you dry. Like, slow down. Worry about not hitting the beautiful Panthers. Because one day you're going to miss them when they're gone. There'll be nothing but History Channel. So, we're still trying to get the woolly mammoth back. It's harder to bring it back if it's gone. Okay.
From the Discovery Channel to the History Channel.
Straight there. Fast track, fast pass. No, we need industry. We need to spread our seed. We need to put our mark on the map as quickly and as widely as possible. These animals have no business being on the same no, I'm kidding, guys. It sucks seeing we have so much land here in America. Why are you trying to keep just shoving it here in the tip of the dick of America? We don't need that. You can go somewhere else. There's other pretty places. I'm telling you right now, there's other great places. We don't need to be endangering anyone. Like I said, we're trying to bring them back. They're having, oh man, just imagine what it'd be like if you were there's 30 humans left and they're just shove you in a box. All right, go have sex with that thing. Really? Do I have to?
Oh my goodness.
I guess. Will you let me out then? Oh, okay.
I'm going to go on a 200-mile walk.
Yeah. Gotta walk that one off.
Oh, that's a little unnatural for me. But there's also some other scientists doing little unnatural things, but hopefully with a positive outcome, because it only gets weirder from here at VC Pod. Researchers at the New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology are creating drones, but not drones with 4 propellers and a bunch of plastic. They're taxidermying birds. And they're taking these taxidermy birds, they're articulating their wings, their tail feathers, and yes, their beak and their feet. And they are making flying bird drones. Now, if you didn't trust the government to begin with, maybe we have an accurate suspicion to believe this might be happening. These machines called ornithopters, so eloquently named, are hailed for being a very useful tool possibly in the future for espionage or great stealth activities, and are less likely to be spotted in the air than a conventional drone, as they are very natural looking and they fly just like a regular bird. The New Mexico Institute found that they could actually get these drones, these taxidermy drones, to fly more articulately than most artificial aircraft can remotely because they're so maneuverable. And they studied from small birds that live in places like stores and bowling alleys was one specific place that was quoted. I guess it's really hard to maneuver around those pins, but I mean, these are studies that have been going on. Everyone saw the cat drone that the Dutch artist created some years ago, but now we're using it for scientific purposes. And yeah, I mean, maybe hopefully there's a natural use of these. Maybe they can use them in building the bird population, as if we need more birds. But a little unnatural for you guys.
Just inseminating birds with robot birds. I don't know, man. Look, this is crazy. To me, it's just like I can just picture like from Crash Bandicoot, like the Dr. Neo Cortex, just with the giant black rubber gloves and a giant forehead, just like zapping like these birds and stuff. And to me it's so funny. It's like these guys are like, all right, so we need something new in like in aerial technology, something new in drones. What flies? Planes, helicopters, drones. Yeah, but we're trying to reinvent drones. Birds? Yeah, let's study birds. Like they've only been generating flight patterns for millions of years. Like it's just, come on. And then the last thing I was thinking about is this is going to end up in some Dr. Moreau territory where they're just like, hey, look, we got a Panther spy bot. You know, like no one's ever going to think that. Like it's a Florida Panther spy bot. And they just keep like their annual military budget for Panther spy bots is just like billions of dollars because people in Florida just keep hitting them and just destroying them. And so they got to replenish the drone population every year.
Brings a new meaning to robot chicken, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, if the government wasn't giving you DJ fake news on this one, that people are thinking that that birds are actually government-controlled drones. Yeah, I think Superman had some. He didn't say anything, but people always said, it's a bird. It's a drone. No, wait, no, it's a bird. Wait, no, that's a drone. No, it's a bird drone? Oh, my God. They're taking over. Oh.
Where's Superman? Where is he? Well, hey, guys, you got to keep it. You got to keep the foul people around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always got to have a good wingman around, as foul as they might be. But look, it's so convenient to do so many things these days. Technology just does it for you. At least 20 words into these first 3 sentences were auto-completed for me. And other things like finding new music, food recommendations, and remembering what you have to do this evening are just a few algorithms away at this point. But there's a big but here with 2 T's, because if you're looking for some ass, you're SOL on the automation front. It's one of the few areas of technology where effort is still required. Imagine that. You have to try to get a date. Wow. Anyway, AI and its army of entrepreneurial underlings are here to help. This new apps like Riz, YourMove.ai, and Keys are all artificial intelligence wingmen that are here with your hookup. Riz helps you write pickup lines and openers based on the person you're hitting on. Your Move AI is geared towards folks who have a little social anxiety and seems to help them by practicing with them conversations and dialogues. And they're all revolving around like romantic conversations. And Keys is geared just for like text messages. So it does all the same things, just it's for your mobile phone. But I found this on the Washington Post, and they published the article. They quoted a guy named Mario who said, before I was like, tell me about yourself and what you do. And now Mario uses phrases like, what's your favorite dinosaur? And then here's my one caveat, right? Like the Washington Post also polled everybody, and almost every single one of the people who are using AI assisted wingman bots don't disclose it to the person they're hitting on.
Yeah.
That's cheating. That's cheating.
That it's crazy. I thought you were going to say Mario, and I quote said, "It's me," and then that just didn't work. He say swipe left on that one. But what are we doing? What's happening here? We're training people to figure out ways to talk to AI robots so that we can have AI sex slaves here in our homes, and then we're just going to have AI. I guess the good thing is if we can cut down on like sexual assault and all that stuff, I'm for that. Like if people just want to start having AI sex bots in their house, go for it. But we are losing a touch of humanity here. Yeah. And the only really real way, if you want to talk to girls, just go out there. Just start. You develop a social anxiety and sweaty palms, and it's weird, and you don't trust it or believe in yourself. You don't have the courage, but you finally start to do it, and you build up a skill set of talking to people. It's normal. That's how we do it. We develop things.
Yeah. If he can do it.
If I can do it, exactly.
Anyone can do it.
Listen, man, they were listening to your slang term. They got the riz, okay? It's that, they got that charm. That charm. And I think you're totally wrong, man. Make all the sex bots. Just line them up. Come on, just keep them going. Let's make it easier. It's ways. No, I'm just kidding, man. You guys got to have, I'm with you guys. You got to have that swag. You got to put on your fedora and, put on your Henley and go out, and you got to know that when you let her in the car, if she doesn't reach over and hit that lock, you dump her. You dump her. So.
Look, I just need to hang out on this just a second because it's like all of us have been there where you're out with your wingman and people see, oh, your wingman is better looking than you. That is the greatest challenge in the world, right? So you should have to have some little checkbox, some little robot head next to your Tinder account that says, I'm with the wingman, because everybody has to go through that. And it's just, like, hey, it's okay if you need a crutch, buddy, but you have to admit that you have a crutch. You can't just hide behind it anymore. I'm sorry. I just, it's not because I'm mad because like of all I had to go through or what you guys have had to go through, because I've been around you guys long enough. I know you struggled. Everybody's guys, girls, they've all struggled out there. It's not about like minimizing people and saying, oh, you have anxiety. It's about saying that overcoming that anxiety is what leads to healthy relationships.
You're cheating the system. Some of the best man stories come of like, you remember, and I was like, Tammy, and then you pulled this move, and then it was like, pa, pa, and then you passed it off to me, and then like we went home, and we dated forever, and then we were in Miami, and then we had a bottle, and then we got married, and it was crazy, and then we got on a podcast. Wait, is this too close to home? But
abbreviated,
the stories,
Cliff
guys,
notes.
the stories.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to say anything left about that? Because it's touchy.
You gotta develop your skills. Yep. It's a coming of age thing. It's not, oh, I can. Is that how these kids learn now? Is it? Oh, I'm just gonna type this in. It's the Google age. It really. It's like I don't remember anything. I just know I have to go to Google and ask for it. Yep. I just know. Oh, where do I got to go? I just know I have to ask for it. I don't have to remember how to get there. Yeah. I don't have to remember that person's name. I don't have to remember their phone number. It's right here in my contacts list. Boom. I got all their information.
You get up in the morning and you're like, you want breakfast, girl? It's like, yeah, okay, I'll order it off Google. Let me ask Google, what's your name again? What's her name again?
Who was I with last? Dude, where's my car? That movie would have done in like 3 minutes.
You would never have that gem.
You know what? I'm gonna pivot over here as we go in to the world's largest furniture store, IKEA. That's right. They're looking to make their biggest investment in a single country of 2 billion euros. That's like 2.2 billion American dollars.
Yeah,
with conversion. So currently, IKEA's biggest market is Germany, which pulled in 5.7 billion euros in reported sales. Well, America reported 5.5 billion euros in sales over the last financial year. With this investment to bring 8 more stores to the United States, it seems as if it will be only moments before the U.S. takes over that number one market for IKEA. And so the locations of these stores have not been confirmed, but it does not include the stores that are already set to open in San Francisco, California, and Arlington, Virginia over the summer. I know Cleveland had a chance to open one a few years back, but they pulled the plug on that. And hopefully we can get some of those tasty meatballs coming our way soon, though. That's what's all about.
Was this, did you say it was cinnamon gyros or choco gyros?
I didn't say either.
Churros. I meant churros. But anyway, hey, look, I mean, we got to step up our game. We got to step up our game. we got to go flat out at IKEA. The problem is they don't have enough of them. We need more IKEA.
They're coming. 8 more.
8 more.
I don't know, dude. I'm not for. See, here's me being a dude again. I'm not for an expansion. It took me an hour and a half to get out of an IKEA the first time I went out there. If they expand any more buildings, they're just making more corn mazes for me to get lost in. Or if they expand any of the buildings and make them bigger, I'm gonna be in that bad boy for half a day, and I cannot afford the trouble. So, plus they make junk. Get out of here. I don't need your chingy fake plants. Get them out. Get out of here. Get out, IKEA.
Okay, so he doesn't want IKEA.
I can make my own Swedish meatballs. Thank you.
So I'm wondering, could you buy phones at IKEA yet? Because I'm sick and tired of that annoying ringing that these cellular devices is always doing. Because like we're so popular, you know, like can we get like some Swedish designed like phone that doesn't ever ring or something like that, or just rings more friendly? I don't know. But we can fix that problem with our new top-of-the-line high-end device. Phone has all the features you want and none of the ones you don't. Phone has a 500-megapixel camera, 2 200-megapixel cameras, 3 50-megapixel cameras, and 12 5-megapixel cameras. The speakers on Phone will blow you away with their deep low tones and carry you away with their angelic high tones. All of your favorite social media apps are pre-installed for you, just like the Weekly Chaos one, to easily browse away for hours on end. The processor is snappy, the RAM is abundant, the storage capacity is infinite. Phone is packed with every feature you can imagine. The one thing it doesn't do is make phone calls because those are dumb and annoying. So get Phone today for $499 down and 20 monthly payments of a nickel. If you use code VCPhone, you can get Phone for just $499 down payment. No nickels. What a deal! So get Phone in your life because it has all the features that matter. This is not an actual product, service, or idea. Just in case you thought it was, it's not. If there's something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation. Offer no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea.
Okay, here we go. Clickbait headlines for you guys out there. I got one. Nick, DJ Fake News.
I'll listen this time.
All right. Back to the basics. It's long overdue.
It's overdue. It's overdue. It's overdue decimal.
Go with it. Go with it. Go with it. Go.
Yeah, it's overdue. The basics are over. This is definitely a play on words. I think you know they call all those like simple guys and girls out there. That's teen and slang. They call them basic. So all the basics got up too early one morning. They fell asleep because they were all tired from the shenanigans, and it got all dewy out of the grass, and they're all over that dew, and the dew's all over them. And yeah, that's a town story, real small town issue.
The basics getting dew all over.
The basics. I'm saying, hey, we're rolling into summertime. I think that back to basic swimwear is like the hottest new line, and it's like a dewy blue that is like the most popular selling color of the new swimsuit line.
No, but I did see an article or a video on. Your kids should not be wearing blue bathing suits because they're harder to see in the water with the blue liners and everything. So they should be bright colors. Just it's a safety thing.
Okay.
So, but clickbait headline: back to the basics. It's long overdue. April 24th. Here we go. A New Jersey library announced a book was recently returned anonymously after being checked out in July of 1979. Wow. The Mercer County Library System said that the book Back to Basics by the editors of Flying Magazine was due back at the library's Hopewell branch on July 25th of 1979, but it didn't return to the library system until it was anonymously left in a box of donations earlier this month. Merrick said that the library's records don't go back far enough to know who checked it out, so we have that, no information. Librarians said that the book would have accrued more than $1,600 in fines at the current rate of 10 cents per day, but the library caps the fees at $6. So
nice.
Yeah, the Merrick said that the library won't attempt to collect any fees if the person does identify themselves. But the one thing I have is I just can't imagine being the person who put in the reservation for that book. You know, they've been waiting over 40 years for this book, and they made a promise to someone that they'll be sure to turn their life around, and they're going to do that by going back to the basics. And now they finally have that chance to take their life off a pause and begin their adventure. If they haven't died already.
That would be amazing. But could you also imagine that the person does, like, somebody comes out of the woodwork, they're like, you know, a 65-year-old person would come out, it was me, here's the book. And, like, they're like, it's okay, come on in, bring the book in. And then it's just, like, from, like, Monsters, Inc., like, these guys in, like, orange suits just, like, come flying in and, like, grab the guy, like, put him to the ground, like, put him in cuffs and just, like, and then they make them go face to face, like, they're in the detective room with the, like, one-way glass, and they, like, shove him up against the glass. And that person who got screwed out of not reading the book is just like, look at him. Yeah. Look at what you did.
Those kids, dude, it's either that or there's a kid who thought about this his entire life. He's like, I'm going to teach Mrs. Smith, that crappy librarian. I'm going to turn her book, and I'm not going to do it for 40 years. and the best part is they don't know the name because they took that little slip out of the back where they stamp your card on it, and he's keeping that in his pocket as a souvenir. You kids out there using AI and Google don't know what I'm talking about right now, but that's okay because we'll learn you one day.
Don't be a hero, mate. You look after your mates, and your mates will always look after you. Yeah, cheers.
That's right. Look after your librarians. You got to be on the lookout. We're going down to the land down under to do our Aussie news segment. It happens every show, every weekly chaos, every velocity chaos. We are all in on Australia. This week, my custom title is Losing the Legendary Eateries. Some bad news for all of our Aussie friends. There is a massive Aussie restaurant closure coming, and these are all like beloved chains. Okay, so it's kind of as if Chili's would close. I'd be dead. I'd be heartbroken.
No.
Anyway, the COVID just hit a lot of the companies down there, the big holdings companies that hold multiple chains. Pacific Concepts, it's going under the Pacific Ocean. It's going to be buried deep. Some of the eateries that are going out of commission, Mexican-themed El Camino Cantina, Fratelli Fresh, and beer hall favorite Munich Brauhaus, as well as the Bavarian, Bar Patron, and the Argyle. I just love how Australia is just, let's name our restaurants after the most Argyle thing that we can think of. Like, what's the most Scottish thing we can think of? Argyle. Okay, yeah, that's what we're going to call it. It's hilarious. They just took the stereotypes from all these different countries and threw them in a Yahtzee box and essentially just said, which one are we going to open first? Pacific Hunter Group also runs Rockpool Dining Group, which is like higher end restaurants, Rockpool Bar and Grill, Spice Temple, and Saki. These have all been hit bad by the pandemic. All in all, Pacific has lost almost $75 million in losses, and that was just, I think, this year or over the pandemic, and last year they lost $87 million trying to start back up again. So it's brutal, and Aussies are out.
That's a problem. You hate to see it, honestly. Just people losing jobs. One, like all these industries going under, and one, it's because people don't want to work, and then two, because prices are going up, and you don't want to pay. You used to get a burger for, like, if you go to a sit-down restaurant, like $12. Now it's like $17, $18, and you're getting smaller portions and shittier food because they don't train everyone, and the waitresses take forever. Exactly.
Who's gonna open this pre-made bag of Alfredo sauce?
Exactly. It's this big spiral.
Do they have Australian restaurants in Australia? Like we got Outback?
I don't know. What do you call it? Kangaroo Jacks.
It's going to be called Mate.
Can we open a Velocity Chaos restaurant? It's just called Mate. Just kangaroo burgers.
I like it. Let's send it, because that just goes to show you that in life, when you're down on your luck and things are spiraling out of control, all you got is your buddies. Your buddies just to shoot the breeze with, and step on people's chests and talk to sex robots, all that fun stuff. And then, your three buddies, you step up to the plate and you're looking at them hotties, and you're all going to hit home runs because you guys got that Panther swag about you. And, you're going to do it good. You got your wingman with you, your birds flying high, the doves coming out of the box. But it's a premature celebration. I'm going to tell you right now, you guys are going to strike out. I'm sorry. That's just the way it has to be. You're going to get a little cut on your face from a slap, maybe a drink in the eye, and it hurts. And on the ride home, Panther comes across your path. You're going to get brake checked, and you're going to concussion because you smacked your head on the dashboard. And, it really is. We can all we can look to are the meatballs of the Swedes and the Kristen Tatars of Estonia. They're the ones that'll light the beacons and light the way ahead of us.
All right, that does it for this week's episode of the Weekly Chaos. Thank you for joining us as we blitz through a bunch of headlines today. It was a lot of fun, and we hope you had a good time as well. DJ Fake News, I think we hit some real stuff today.
Yeah, boys, thanks for having me. I try to hit you with a little interesting story here and there.
We try to keep it real like that. Everybody, hey, you can hit us up on all the socials. You can find us on YouTube. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you are downloading on any of the podcast platforms, be sure you switch everything to download because that helps us find new folks and make sure we are climbing whatever chart we might be on. We might be on our own chart, but that doesn't matter because we're just doing it for you guys, for the hell of it, and for the other guys sitting at this hexapod table. So talk to you soon. See you on the next one. Have a good one. This is Nick signing off.
And this is Luke signing off. Thank you guys once again. We appreciate the heck out of you. And like we always say, respect. It's earned by action alone and not self-gratification. Have a good one.
That was the Weekly Chaos brought to you by the Velocity Chaos Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in and getting your weekly dose of news updates. Make sure to check us out on all your favorite social media platforms at Velocity Chaos Pod and podcast at velocitychaos.com. As always, we appreciate your support. Please tell a friend, and thank you once again.